Hi guys, welcome to the podcast studio. My name's Simon, and today I just want to go through some of the basic features we have in the podcast and live streaming studio, and just how easy it is to come in this space and to be up and running and recording your podcast within minutes. This started as an audio-only studio, and recently it's just evolved to include live streaming and video. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but at the heart of it, we've got a Rodecaster Pro podcasting recording console here. Most people who are involved with podcasts would be familiar with this unit. It does have one of the simplest user-friendly interfaces that we found, and you can go deeper if you want, if you're into tweaking compression and equalization and those types of things, but it's so easy just to use straight off the bat. You can put your micro SD card in the back. As soon as you press record, you're now live and recording your podcast. It will record every individual audio source separately, so you will end up with an audio track of this microphone, that microphone, and then any other bits of audio you're bringing in. But it's also going to record your stereo output track, so exactly what you're hearing in the headphones, so you can produce your podcast live as well and have that audio file. All your guests will have separate volume controls for their headphones. And then finally, you can actually pre-configure some sounds. Maybe you've got a theme song for your podcast, or you've got different segments that might have different cues, or maybe you've got an ad that you're actually going to play in the middle of your podcast. They can all be pre-configured onto these buttons on the right-hand side here, and you can fire them off as needed. At the moment, it's just a stock standard Rode sound, so they've got a bit of a theme song. Of course, you can change the volume and also talk over those if you need to, and they've included some sound effects, some basic laughter, or even some applause if you want that as well. So that's the basic podcast setup. As I said, you can actually add another 2 microphones in here, super flexible, and we can sort of configure this to be unique for your own podcast. The newest addition to the space has been live streaming. So lots of clients were coming into the space and really wanted to do video and live streaming of their podcast at the same time. And we've worked to integrate that and make that as simple as using the podcast console. At the moment, there's a fixed camera. So we've got a Blackmagic Design Pocket Cinema camera at the front wall. So that's what I'm talking to you on now. Below that's a monitor, so I can monitor the podcast and I can see how everything's looking. And then we've got all the lighting built into the room as well. So there's a key light above me, there's a hair light up the top, and over that side we've also got a bit of a fill light as well, which means you can switch on a few lights and you're up and ready to go. Of course, this background is not real, it's coming in via a green screen, so I'll just switch over to my camera shot. So that's the shot as I'm being seen by the camera right now. And being a green screen means you can actually design your own graphics. You can customize your podcast and make it your own. So you're not locked into a generic studio setting. You can fully change it and make yourself sort of stand out from the crowd, I guess. I'll come back to my background and add me back in over the top, that one there. And everything can be remotely controlled from the live room where I am now, or there is a control room on the other side of the window here, and you could have a producer in there who's actually controlling all the live stream settings and camera angles and switching, that sort of stuff as well. The other thing we can do is do lower third graphics. So if you've got a guest that you want to put up their name and maybe what their association is, you can pre-configure those graphics and you can drop them in nice and easily. So that's myself there. Again, it takes a little bit more work, but once you've set this all up once, you save your session, and then the next time you come in, you can recall all of that. Everything will load up, and you're back to where you were. So you're up and running again pretty quickly outside of that very, very first setup. Finally, if you've got any questions, please feel free to head to our website, forensicaudio.com.au/podcast studio. It's right there for you. Feel free to reach out, ask us any questions, and if you want to come in and have a look, please get in touch. Okay, thank you, and catch you next time.